Hello everyone, I'm Scott Johnson, your Columbia County Manager, here with you again on our series of what's going on in Columbia County in 2021, or what happened in Columbia County in 2021. Joined today by our Development Services Director, Paul Scarbary. Paul, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for letting me be here.
Absolutely, and Paul is over all things development, so we're going to be talking about all the new houses coming to Columbia County, the new businesses that we've seen in 2021, and he also oversees occupational taxes and permitting and all those things. So let me just turn it over to Paul. Paul, kind of tell us a little bit about what you do oversee and what the typical day is in your office.
We have our CSRs, our customer service representatives that are up front. They will help get you in the right direction, whether it's occupation tax you're looking for, alcohol license that you may be needing to obtain, a business occupation tax, or if it's a permit that you need for some type of construction project.
So talk about the construction projects. That's always a big deal. I mean, we've seen a ton of growth in Columbia County in many years. We've either hit that 1,000 single permit a year for single family, or we've been very, very close to that. So talk about the growth this past year in 2021. How does it look?
Well, in this past year, but we've had an issue with, or the builders have had issue with some of the supplier chain getting the products on the ground. So therefore, it's affected us just a little bit. We've been down about 1 to 2% on the overall building permits. With that being said, the permits we're still looking at and reviewing quite a number of commercial and residential plans. Commercial, as you know, Scott, has been up about 40% from the prior year. Residential-wise, like I said, they're down just slightly, but that's not due to anything other than but supplier chain and builders not wanting to overcommit to the homeowners. Yeah,
people still want to move to Columbia County. We're seeing subdivision plans coming in. We're seeing people asking for permits and those sort of things. And we have another one of these takes that we did with our planning director, and we kind of talked about what it took to I guess go through the process of rezoning and being able to say, okay, we want to put a neighborhood here, and a lot of people are not happy with the number of houses that are coming and think infrastructure's not there. But from your point of view, one of the things that I said with Scott Sterling, our planning director, was it's not a rubber stamp. How about the building permit process? Is that a rubber stamp? I mean, you come get one, but then you have to have inspections, right?
That's correct. Yeah, no, it's definitely not a rubber stamp. You submit a set of plans to us, and we're using the citizen self-serve process now, rather than you having to walk in the door with a hard copy set of plans. You can now submit through the electronic process, which prevents you from having to come in. We have that electronically. We can take a look at it even more quickly. It gets through that process quickly, but we take a look at the plans, making sure we're looking at setbacks, we're looking at foundation, we're looking at the elevations of the plans, all the way up through actually moving into that, just making sure the whole process is taken into account. We're looking at the structural as well as making sure it's sitting in the development the way it should be, it has been designed.
And we really don't get into the aesthetics, but we're certainly into the quality of what's being built.
That's exactly right. And when you get your permit, once a permit has been issued, we're out on average of a minimum of 14 inspections. But through that process, depending on how many times we have to go back and re-inspect, we're out there up to about 28 inspections throughout that building process.
So let's talk a little bit about commercial permits. We talked about residential, and let's talk about the commercial aspect. We've seen a lot of new businesses come to Columbia County in 2020, and all those folks came through your division to get those building permits and to build those buildings. So maybe talk about that a little bit.
All right. Well, Scott, on the commercial side, as it typically does with development, your rooftops have to come in first. You've got to get that supporting numbers there to be able to bring in restaurants and such as that. So yes, the commercial permits have been up. We're having a lot more businesses come into the county. We've actually issued quite a number of new permits or occupation taxes, about 1,000 new occupation taxes this year, which there again it explains there's a lot more business coming to the county. The large one probably everybody would recognize would be the Amazon plant that we've had that's gone online. And like you said, the commercial, that support for all the citizens that we have for the county, like you said, restaurants, new stores, and new businesses, which is a plus. Keeping people here close to home to go to work or whatever that may be.
And Amazon's a great example. When we talk about 2021 and the accomplishments that we had, not necessarily just getting Amazon here, but what it took for your guys and gals in your division just to do the inspections in that building's gigantic.
Yeah, you're right, Scott. Just even from the plan review part, because that set of plans is over 280 pages long.
Wow.
It takes some time to go through review that for code compliance, and then the man hours put into a building of that size. Quite a number of inspectors and number of inspections every day to get through that process, because they're working around the clock 24/7 to get that building up and get that building on site. We reached out several times a day, like I said, to keep them going, to keep them able to get that project out of the ground to the point of CO.
And I want to mention that wasn't something special for Amazon. I've seen your folks in your division do that with builders and do that with developers, and work as much as we need to work and adjust their schedules to make sure that we're getting the inspections done and those sort of things.
Right, Scott, you're right. It's not unusual for us to get a call and say, look, Paul, we've got concrete coming. Is there any way we can get started early? Can you inspect us? And all the builders have built such a relationship with our inspectors. Can you come out late or can you come out early so we can get this done? And we've done that. It's definitely not an Amazon special favor that we've given to them. It is across the board.
Yeah, it's just how we do business in Columbia County. I think your division's done great.
Yeah, you're right.
So any other departments? You got a couple other departments in your division. Kind of what they've done in 2021 as we close up.
We do have our fire marshal's office and our code enforcement. They fall in on more of the maintenance side of things. Once a building is opened up, whether it be a residential structure, whether it's a commercial structure, then it becomes turned over to more of the maintenance side of things, making sure that things are staying in a condition that would be representative of Columbia County. Make sure it's safe. Make sure it is to the point where it's not become again a blighted area. We don't want any of those blighted areas. Code enforcement, they've had to see about 2,700, 3,000 cases throughout the year.
Wow.
Of going out, whether that's abandoned cars, condemnations, trash, you name it. The fire marshals, they're going out there inspecting businesses each and every day, making sure those are still safe and code compliant as well.
Yeah. So we got to make sure we keep Columbia County to the standard that our citizens have come to expect. Whether it's new construction, we got to make sure we're doing it there. Then also what we already have, maintaining that as well. And your division really kind of does a little bit of all of that.
That's right, Scott. We take it from the cradle to the grave, so to speak.
Yeah. Well, Paul, thank you so much for joining us here. We thank everybody for joining us and watching this series of what's going on in Columbia County in 2021. Paul and his folks do a great job in development services, and we very much appreciate them as we do our other divisions. Wish you all the best, and we'll see you in a future episode. Take care.